Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Parisa if you're new here, and in today's video it's all about 5 different flower types beginning with the letter L, part of the A to Z flower series. I've been making videos on these over the past few months. I've also made other flower facts videos, so check those out too if you like this video. Follow me on social media. On Instagram I'm called Parisa Flowers, and on Depop I'm called Parisa Chloe. And without further ado, let's get started with this video. The first flower that I'm going to be talking about is the lavender, and the meaning of this is luxury, elegance, silence, serenity and royalty, and the colour that it comes in is purple. It blooms from May to August. Some interesting facts about lavender is that it's said to reduce anxiety and stress, soothe muscles, it can help you sleep, can make high quality honey from the lavender nectar, you can make potpourri from lavender, and there's said to be many magical uses of lavender called the divine alignment, that said that lavender can create the ideal balance, healing and energy flow in your life, and that's because it's said to benefit you from self-love, self-esteem, it can help you move beyond your fears, it can help you create healthy sleeping patterns and help you find your ideal career path. Lavender is very useful for medicine. It is a sedative and antidepressant. It can treat pain. It's an anxiolytic and anticonvulsant, which can prevent quick neuron firing during seizures and prevent seizures from spreading in the brain. Aromatherapists use lavender oil by diffusing it in carrot oil or water. You can anoint it on your temples, you can smell it, you can massage it into your skin, you can add it to bath water and apply to affected areas. Medical issues that lavender essential oil can be used to treat includes acne and other skin conditions, headaches, irritable bowel syndrome, constipation, asthma, addiction, depression and insect bites. How do you grow lavender? So you need to make sure that you water it when the top 2 inches of the soil are dry, and the soil type that you should use is fertile, well-drained soil. You need to make sure that the soil is not waterlogged, and also it grows ideally in alkaline soil, and you should plant it in spring, and the sunlight that it needs is at least 8 hours of direct sunlight every day. Lavender grows best when you add potash to the base of the flowers, and that will improve the flower colour and for flowering to be more prolific. And make sure that you don't add manure or nitrogen feed to the lavender because that won't help it grow. The second flower beginning with the letter L is lily, and the meaning of this is fertility, purity, happiness, simplicity, and the different colours have different meanings, and the colours that it comes in is white, yellow, pink, orange and red, and the lily blooms from early summer to autumn. Some interesting facts about the lily is that they have freckles. They develop from bulb that can be buried deep underground. They can grow 2 to 6 feet. Many people have lilies at their weddings because of its association with love and luck. Lily is the most favoured flower in Europe, and white lilies are a symbol of purity, whilst daylilies are associated with romance. Tiger lily represents wealth. Lily of the valley represents the epitome of sweetness. Tiger lilies and white lilies have a scent, whereas other coloured lilies don't have a scent. They live long in a vase, which is great if you have them in your office, and they can live even longer if you remove the pollen, and they are one of the top 10 most popular flowers in the world. Lilies are very toxic to cats, so ensure that you don't have them in the garden or near cats. And the lily is very easy to grow because they're not fussy about the soil pH, and they can grow under many different light conditions. For medicine, the lily can be used to treat many medical issues such as anxiety, depression, angina, heart disease. It can be used to treat scars, brighten skin, treat utis, fluid retention, which is also called edema, eye infections like conjunctivitis, strokes and leprosy. So how do you grow lilies? Well, you need to make sure that you water them regularly, and it's recommended to water them once a week during spring and summer, and when there are dry periods, water twice a week. The soil type that you should use is well-drained soil. That's very important for the lily to grow and be healthy. And you should make sure that you remove rocks, organic matter when you're digging a hole, and make sure that the hole that you dig to put the lilies in is 12 inches deep. Add organic matter like peat moss in order to improve the soil structure, and add mulch to improve the soil health. And when you plant the lily, make sure that you plant the bulbs in autumn and buy them close to when you will plant them. The sunlight that lilies need is full sun, and they'll grow best in full sun, but you can also grow them in light shade. And the food that you should provide lilies is high potassium fertilizer. you should give it to the lilies every 2 weeks until 6 weeks after flowering. I just like to add, when you're going to water the lilies, ensure that you give 1 to 2 inches of water so that the root zone has enough moisture, because this is very important for the flower to be healthy. Third flower beginning with the letter L is the lilac, and the meaning of this is renewal, confidence, and there are different meanings for the different lilac colours. For example, white lilacs represent purity. The colours that lilac comes in is pink, magenta, blue, violet, purple, lavender and white. And the lilac blooms from April to June if the weather is cool, and having warmer weather can make the blooming season shorter by a few weeks, but it does depend on the lilac variety as to how long that it will bloom for. Some interesting facts about the lilac is that it's traditionally given as a gift to graduates, and it's said to be deliciously romantic if you add lavender essence to wine, sharing it with a love interest. Lilac is edible, and people say it has a floral and bitter taste and is good for adding to garnishes. And in medicine, lilac can be used in tea because it is an anti-periodic, preventing disease from occurring like malaria. It's an aromatic, which means it has a pleasant smell. It is an astringent, so it can tighten, dry and make skin moist. And when applying the astringent, it can be applied as a warm or cold infusion to the face, cuts or rashes. How do you grow lilacs? So ensure that you water the top 1 inch of soil when it is dry, and to make sure that the lilac plants have enough moisture, count to 10. A sign that lilacs need water is that their leaves will droop if they are too dry. The soil type that lilacs need is neutral or slightly alkaline soil with a pH of 6.5 to 7.0, and ensure that you do a soil test before you plant them, as the soil will need to be high in organic matter and be well drained. If the pH is below 5.5, add lime to increase it. It's important that the soil that you grow lilacs in is rich in humus, that it is well drained, and a good thing about it is that it can grow in basically all soil types like chalk. And when should you plant lilacs? Late spring, at a time when the ground is unlikely to thaw. If you are going to be growing your lilac as a bush, then you should use bone meal fertilizer, as it makes the soil more alkaline. The sunlight that you should provide lilacs is light shade to full sun. The fourth flower beginning with the letter L is Lantana, and the meaning of this is rigor. The colours that it comes in is pink, red, yellow and white, and these are definitely very bold colours. It blooms from late spring until frost. Some interesting facts about Lantana is that its leaves are poisonous to most animals. It's native to tropical areas of North and South America and Africa. Butterflies and bees are very attracted to them. The flower is part of the verbena family, also called Verbeniaceae, and the flowers are in small clusters. They are drought tolerant and they are easy to grow. Some medicine uses of Lantana is that it's used for the preparation of flower essences for sexual dysfunction medicine. Lantana extracts can treat eczema, asthma, ulcers, high blood pressure, rheumatism, and intra-abdominal viscera. How do you grow Lantana? So that ensure that you water it regularly to encourage healthy root development, and it will grow best when 1 inch of the soil is watered per week, and watering regularly allows the flowers to grow to full size in great numbers and grow steadily. Ensure that you don't water more than 1 inch of water per week, because if the soil gets constantly soggy, then it's susceptible to harmful plant diseases. Soil type that Lantana requires is well-drained soil that is loose like sand, and you need to make sure that the soil is prepped before you plant it. And when should you plant it? Late spring to early summer. The sunlight that Lantana needs is full sun for best flowering, and the food that you should give it is fertilizer such as NPK in the ratio 10 to 10 to 10 or 20 to 20 to 20, but little fertilizer is needed. Generally, it's more important that you water it regularly. The last flower beginning with the letter L is lupine, and the meaning of this is admiration, happiness. When it is given to someone as a gift, it represents new opportunities arising from a positive outlook. And the colours that lupine comes in is purple, pink, red, white, yellow and blue. Lupine blooms from June to July, so it doesn't bloom for very long, from late spring until early summer. Some interesting facts about lupine is that its energy is said to give recovery from trauma. It has narrow leaflets, and that's how it can be identified. It is a perennial plant that belongs to the legume family. It can grow from 1 to 5 feet. Lupine can be grown in many parts of the wild in the world, and it grows well in a variety of climates. It adds height, beauty and colour to any garden, and those with peanut allergies should not have lupine seeds, as those with peanut allergies have actually tested positive for lupine allergies, and lupine seeds are becoming a increasingly popular soy substitute as they are a good source of amino acids, and soaking lupine bean pods with salt water can make them edible. In Mediterranean countries, it is common to have lupine dishes, and lupine protein powder can be used before and after a workout when added to a protein shake, and the powder can be added to water or milk or even smoothies. There's so many different options, so lupine is very useful as a food. In medicine, lupine has many uses because it is high in fibre and it's also high in protein. Because lupine is high in fibre, this can help move food and waste through the digestive system, keeping the colon healthy from toxins not building up and preventing constipation. Good probiotic bacterial growth in the intestine is promoted from the prebiotic contained in the lupine fibre. Protein contained in lupine is good for keeping skin, neurotransmitters, hormones and enzymes functioning, as the proteins are needed to make their molecules. It's said that lupine seeds can actually help treat diabetes as it contains the glycoprotein gamma-congluten, having glucose-reducing effects by passing through the intestinal barrier. It has been shown from studies that glucose metabolism genes can be influenced by lupine seeds. And another thing about lupine is that it's said to promote heart health by preventing the development of atherosclerotic plaques in the coronary heart vessels from lupine plant extracts. And heart attacks and strokes are as a result of high blood pressure can be prevented by lupine, because lupine protein extracts can relax blood vessels. Lupine beans from the lupine flower contain many healthy minerals for the heart, including iron, potassium, antioxidants, magnesium. I'm now interested in trying out the lupine protein superfood myself. How do you grow the flower lupine? So you need to make sure that if the conditions are dry, give at least 1 inch of water per week, and ensure that you use well-drained, fertile, moist soil to grow the lupine. And when should you plant lupine? You should sow seeds indoors from late February to April, and some will flower in the first year and others will grow in the second year. Lupines will be replica of the parent plant if they're grown from cuttings, and the sunlight that you should provide the lupine is full sun, and that is where they will grow best, or you can even grow them in shade. And the food that you should provide lupine is high potash feed of tomato feed when not in the ground. However, when lupines are in the ground, they won't need to be fed because their roots contain nitrogen-fixing nodules where all the nitrogen they need will come from the air. They will capture it. Thank you for listening. If you would like to learn about other flower types, be sure to watch other videos from the A to Z Flower Facts series, which are all ordered. Comment, like and subscribe.